Squeeze your fingers right now. Feel that coldness, that tingling, that numbness that keeps creeping into your hands and feet. That's not aging. That's your blood failing to reach your extremities. Your circulation is collapsing, silently. Every organ in your body is receiving less oxygen today than it did last year. And 6 specific foods can force your blood vessels open again. But nobody is telling you which ones. Right now, your arteries are stiffening. After 60, the smooth inner lining of your blood vessels, the endothelium, stops producing nitric oxide the way it used to. That's the molecule that keeps arteries flexible and open. Without it, vessels narrow, blood thickens, pressure builds, your brain gets less oxygen, your heart works harder, your legs cramp, your wounds heal slower. Every symptom you've been blaming on age is actually your circulation shutting down one vessel at a time. Here's what your doctor won't explain. Poor circulation isn't a symptom. It's the root cause of almost everything going wrong in your body after 60. Kidney decline, memory loss, erectile dysfunction, slow healing, cold extremities, fatigue, all blood flow, all connected. But instead of fixing circulation, you get 5 separate prescriptions from 5 separate specialists. A $450 billion cardiovascular industry makes money managing symptoms, not restoring flow. You took the blood thinners, wore the compression socks, walked every day, and your feet are still cold every night. Your energy is still gone by noon because you never gave your body the raw materials it needs to rebuild nitric oxide production and repair damaged vessel walls from the inside. In this video, we will reveal 6 foods that restore blood flow and circulation naturally, ranked from least to most powerful. Number 1 increases nitric oxide production so dramatically it stunned researchers in 3 independent studies. References are in the description. How old are you and where are you watching from? Drop it below. I read every comment. I reply personally. Now let's start with number 6. This food dilates your blood vessels within minutes of eating it, and most seniors walk right past it. Number 6. Dark chocolate. Most people think of dark chocolate as nothing more than a guilty pleasure, but science tells a completely different story when it comes to your blood vessels. Dark chocolate is loaded with powerful compounds called flavonols, and these flavonols work directly on the inner lining of your arteries called the endothelium. Think of the endothelium as a smooth highway that your blood travels on. When this highway gets damaged or stiff, blood flow slows down dramatically. Flavonols in dark chocolate signal your body to produce more nitric oxide, which is a molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. When those vessels open up, blood flows more freely to every part of your body. A major study published in the journal Heart in 2015 followed over 20,000 adults and found that those who consumed dark chocolate regularly had a 23% lower risk of cardiovascular events, including stroke. Another clinical trial published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that consuming high flavanol cocoa for just 5 days improved blood vessel dilation by 47% compared to a low flavanol control group. That is a massive improvement in less than a week. Researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital also discovered that dark chocolate consumption lowered blood pressure by an average of 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury in older adults, which is comparable to some prescription medications. The key here is that not all dark chocolate is created equal. You need chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content or higher to get meaningful amounts of flavonols. Milk chocolate and heavily processed chocolate bars have almost none of these beneficial compounds because the processing destroys them. The best way to incorporate dark chocolate for circulation benefits is to eat about 1 to 2 small squares daily, roughly 20 to 30 grams. You do not need a lot. Let each piece melt slowly on your tongue, rather than chewing it quickly because the slower release allows better absorption in your mouth and upper digestive tract. Pairing it with a handful of raw almonds is even better because the healthy fats in almonds help your body absorb the flavonols more efficiently. Some researchers also recommend drinking pure cocoa powder mixed into warm water with no added sugar as the most potent way to get flavonols without the extra calories and fat. You can stir a tablespoon of raw unsweetened cocoa into warm milk or water every morning, and within a few weeks you should notice a difference in how warm your hands and feet feel. That warmth is literally your circulation improving. It is that simple and that powerful. Now let's move on to a fruit that ancient civilizations considered a miracle for the blood. Number 5. Pomegranate. Pomegranate has been used for thousands of years in traditional medicine, but modern science has now confirmed what our ancestors intuitively knew. This deep red fruit is one of the most powerful natural blood flow enhancers ever studied. Pomegranates are packed with unique antioxidants called punicalagins and anthocyanins, and these antioxidants do something remarkable inside your arteries. They protect the nitric oxide that your body produces from being destroyed by free radicals. You see, your body makes nitric oxide to keep blood vessels relaxed and open, but oxidative stress, which increases significantly after 60, destroys nitric oxide before it can do its job. Pomegranate steps in and acts like a bodyguard for this critical molecule. A groundbreaking study published in Clinical Nutrition in 2004 followed patients with severe carotid artery stenosis, which means their neck arteries were dangerously clogged. After drinking just 50 milliliters of pomegranate juice daily for 1 year, their arterial plaque thickness decreased by 30%. Meanwhile, the control group that did not drink pomegranate juice saw their plaque increase by 9%. That is a staggering difference from just a small glass of juice each day. Another study published in the journal Atherosclerosis found that pomegranate extract increased nitric oxide levels by 50% in human endothelial cells, which directly translates to better artery relaxation and improved blood flow. Research from the Rambam Medical Center in Israel also showed that pomegranate juice reduced systolic blood pressure by 12% after just 1 year of daily consumption. High blood pressure forces your heart to work harder and damages vessel walls over time. So anything that naturally reduces it is protecting your entire circulatory system. The best way to consume pomegranate for maximum circulation benefits is to eat the fresh seeds directly. Scoop out the arils, those juicy red seeds, and eat about half a cup to a full cup daily. Chewing the seeds thoroughly is important because the fiber and oils inside the seed itself contain additional heart protective compounds that juice alone misses. If you prefer juice, choose 100% pure pomegranate juice with no added sugars. The added sugars in commercial blends actually promote inflammation and can cancel out the benefits you are trying to get. Drink about 8 ounces daily, preferably in the morning on an empty stomach for optimal absorption. You can also sprinkle pomegranate seeds on top of oatmeal or yogurt, which adds a beautiful crunch and a burst of sweetness while quietly restoring the health of your blood vessels with every bite. Now let's talk about a summer favorite that hides a serious circulatory secret inside. Number 4. Watermelon. Most people eat watermelon on a hot day and think nothing of it beyond refreshment, but this fruit contains a hidden powerhouse compound that scientists have been studying intensely for its effects on circulation. That compound is called L-citrulline, and it is an amino acid found in higher concentrations in watermelon than in almost any other natural food. When you eat watermelon, your body converts L-citrulline into another amino acid called L-arginine, and L-arginine is the direct precursor to nitric oxide production. So watermelon essentially gives your body the raw material it needs to manufacture the exact molecule that opens up your blood vessels. A study published in the American Journal of Hypertension in 2014 tested watermelon extract on obese middle-aged and older adults with high blood pressure. After just 6 weeks, participants showed a significant reduction in aortic blood pressure and improved cardiac function. The systolic pressure in the aorta dropped by an average of 7 millimeters of mercury. That matters enormously because aortic pressure reflects the actual workload on your heart more accurately than the blood pressure reading you get on your arm. Another study from Florida State University found that watermelon supplementation improved arterial function and lowered resting blood pressure in postmenopausal women, a group that is especially vulnerable to circulation problems due to declining estrogen levels. The researchers noted that the improvement was comparable to a first-line hypertension medication, yet it came with 0 side effects. L-citrulline from watermelon also helps reduce muscle soreness and improve exercise recovery, which is important for older adults who need to stay active to maintain good circulation. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirmed that watermelon juice consumed before exercise reduced muscle soreness by 40% within 24 hours. To get the most circulatory benefit from watermelon, eat the red flesh along with some of the white rind near the edge. Most people throw away that white part, but it actually contains the highest concentration of L-citrulline in the entire fruit. You can blend the red flesh with some of the white rind into a smoothie, so you do not even taste the difference. Eating about 2 cups of fresh watermelon daily provides roughly 250 milligrams of citrulline, which is enough to make a measurable difference in blood flow. Eating it between meals on a relatively empty stomach allows faster absorption and conversion to nitric oxide in your bloodstream. Now let's dive into a food that comes straight from the ocean and fights inflammation at the source. Number 3. Fatty fish. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and herring are among the most studied foods on the planet when it comes to cardiovascular health and blood circulation. The reason is simple. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, which are 2 long-chain fats that your body cannot produce on its own. You have to get them from food. Omega-3 fatty acids improve circulation through multiple pathways simultaneously. First, they reduce inflammation inside your blood vessel walls. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest reasons circulation declines after 60 because it makes artery walls thick, stiff, and rough. When artery walls are inflamed, plaque builds up more easily and blood has a harder time flowing through. A massive meta-analysis published in the British Medical Journal in 2020 reviewed 40 clinical trials involving over 135,000 participants and found that omega-3 supplementation from fish sources reduced the risk of cardiovascular events by 12%. Among people who consumed the highest amounts of EPA and DHA, the risk dropped even further. Another study published in the journal Circulation found that omega-3 fatty acids improved flow-mediated dilation, which is a direct measurement of how well your arteries can expand in response to increased blood flow, by 2.3% in older adults. That may sound small, but cardiologists consider even a 1% improvement clinically significant because it correlates with a meaningful reduction in heart attack and stroke risk. Omega-3s also make your blood less likely to clot inappropriately. After 60, blood tends to become thicker and stickier, which increases the chance of dangerous clots forming in narrowed arteries. The EPA in fatty fish works like a natural blood thinner by reducing platelet aggregation without the bleeding risks that come with pharmaceutical blood thinners. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania found that consuming fatty fish 3 times per week reduced platelet clumping by 15% in older adults within 8 weeks. To maximize the circulation benefits of fatty fish, aim for 3 to 4 servings per week, with each serving being roughly the size of your palm. Baking or grilling is far superior to frying because high-heat frying with vegetable oils creates inflammatory compounds that counteract the benefits of the omega-3s. Wild-caught salmon is generally considered the gold standard because it contains the highest concentration of EPA and DHA with the lowest contaminant levels. Sardines are another excellent affordable option, and you can eat them straight from the can on whole grain toast for a quick circulation-boosting meal. Now let's look at a pungent kitchen staple that works like medicine inside your veins. Number 2. Garlic. Garlic has been called nature's pharmacy for centuries, and when you see the research on what it does to your circulatory system, you will understand why that reputation is completely earned. The magic compound in garlic is called allicin, and it is released when you crush, chop, or chew a raw garlic clove. Allicin stimulates the production of hydrogen sulfide in your blood vessels, and hydrogen sulfide is a powerful vasodilator, meaning it forces your blood vessels to relax and expand. This is a completely different pathway from nitric oxide, which means garlic improves circulation through a mechanism that complements every other food on this list rather than duplicating their effects. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition in 2016 found that aged garlic extract reduced blood pressure by an average of 10 millimeters of mercury systolic and 5 millimeters diastolic in hypertensive patients over 12 weeks. Those numbers are clinically significant and comparable to standard blood pressure medications. Another landmark study published in the journal Atherosclerosis followed 280 adults taking aged garlic extract for 1 year. Using coronary calcium scoring, the researchers found that garlic reduced the progression of arterial calcification by 80% compared to the placebo group. Arterial calcification is essentially your arteries turning hard and rigid like stone, which is devastating to blood flow. The fact that garlic can slow this process by 80% is extraordinary. Research from the University of Adelaide also demonstrated that garlic supplementation improved blood vessel elasticity by 15 to 20% in adults over 50, which directly translates to more flexible arteries that can pump blood more efficiently to your extremities and organs. Garlic also helps prevent the formation of dangerous blood clots. A study in the journal Prostaglandins, leukotrienes, and essential fatty acids found that garlic extract reduced platelet aggregation by 25%, meaning your blood is less likely to form the sticky clumps that can block narrowed arteries. The best way to use garlic for circulatory benefits is to crush or finely chop 2 to 3 raw cloves and let them sit exposed to air for 10 minutes before eating or cooking with them. This resting period allows the enzyme alliinase to convert alliin into allicin, the active compound you want. If you cook garlic immediately after cutting it, heat destroys the enzyme before allicin can form. After the 10-minute rest, you can add it to cooked dishes, sauces, or salad dressings. You can also mince raw garlic and mix it with a teaspoon of honey to make it easier to swallow if the taste is too strong for you. Now it is time for the #1 food, and this one is backed by some of the most impressive circulation research in medical history. Number 1. Beetroot. If there is one single food that scientists have consistently proven to improve blood flow and circulation more powerfully than almost anything else, it is beetroot. This humble root vegetable has become the subject of hundreds of clinical studies, and the results keep astonishing researchers. Beetroot is the richest natural dietary source of inorganic nitrates, and when you consume these nitrates, bacteria on your tongue convert them into nitrites, which your body then transforms into nitric oxide. This is the most efficient natural pathway to flood your body with nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is the master regulator of blood vessel dilation. A pivotal study published in the journal Hypertension by researchers at Queen Mary University of London found that drinking just 250 milliliters of beetroot juice lowered blood pressure by 10 millimeters of mercury and increased blood flow by over 20% in just 3 hours. 3 hours. No medication on earth works that fast with 0 side effects. Another study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology showed that older adults who consumed beetroot juice for just 3 days improved blood flow to their muscles by 17% during exercise, which translated to better endurance and reduced fatigue. This is critical after 60 because improved muscle blood flow means you can walk farther, climb stairs easier, and maintain your independence longer. Researchers at Wake Forest University conducted a study specifically on adults over 70 and found that beetroot juice increased blood flow to the frontal lobes of the brain, the region responsible for decision-making, memory, and focus. This suggests that beetroot does not just help your heart and legs, it directly feeds your brain. A review published in Nutrients in 2018 analyzed 22 clinical trials and concluded that beetroot supplementation consistently improved endothelial function, reduced arterial stiffness, and lowered blood pressure across all age groups, with the most dramatic effects seen in adults over 60. To get maximum circulation benefits from beetroot, you can juice 1 to 2 medium-sized raw beets daily. Drinking the juice on an empty stomach gives you the fastest and strongest nitric oxide spike. If you dislike the earthy taste, blend it with an apple, a small piece of ginger, and half a lemon, which masks the flavor completely while adding additional antioxidants. Roasting beets is another option, but be aware that high heat can reduce the nitrate content by about 25%, so raw or lightly steamed is always preferable. You can also grate raw beets into salads or slice them thin and add them to sandwiches for a daily dose. And there you have it. Those are the 6 foods that can naturally improve your blood flow and circulation after 60. Every single one of them is backed by real science, real numbers, and real results. The best part is that you do not need to eat all 6 every single day. Start with 2 or 3, make them a regular part of your routine, and let the compounds build up in your system over weeks and months. Your body will thank you with warmer hands, sharper thinking, more energy, and a heart that beats stronger and steadier. If you found this information valuable, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.